Hi all, I finally finished upgrading my Q45. This project took absolutely forever. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I'll tell you something, I'm going to walk through the different components and let you know any feedback I have, what to expect if you're looking at doing a project like this. But to begin with, I'll tell you, maybe I don't recommend doing an upgrade like this on your own. Because in case you aren't, as you probably are all aware, when you upgrade one piece, it sets off this chain reaction of compatibility issues that even if you don't want to replace everything, you probably have to. This is ultimately a Q45 frame set with the whole rest of the bike is aftermarket or upgraded parts. And so yeah, just be aware that if you change one thing, you know. So there's that point. The other thing is, coming at it from the other angle, is that I intended to upgrade everything. I put together a whole package of a vision of everything I wanted upgraded, and the results were that you become highly leveraged on one of these parts working, being compatible, well, performing adequately, because everything else that you end up, so it's basically the inverse of the point that I was making, is that everything else ends up being dependent on every other part. So you'll see how that plays out as I walk through the components. So the first thing I did was I did a power meter. That's the Magine P505. So I do the power meter training on trainer day. And those are some very affordable aftermarket pedals. And we'll move on to the wheels. These are AliExpress Izadon. What is the brand name? I can't remember the brand name, but these are carbon wheels from AliExpress. 420, 440 for the set. They're excellent. They're great. The tires are these Pathfinder, these specialized Pathfinders that are very well regarded, and I think they're awesome. Got these rotors that are just, I think they look amazing. And the group set I'll talk about. So the cassette is a 10 by 46, 11 speed. I actually tried to go with a, I believe it was a 10 by 50. This is an XD style cassette rather than HG, and that was just too big. The derailleur would not shift adequately or properly on that. So this is a 10 by 46 XD cassette. It's got a 12-speed chain on there, even though it's an 11-speed cassette. Because reasons, this bike needs a 120. You need to get a chain that comes with 126 links if you're gonna do an 11-speed 10 by 46 cassette, because the 116 link 11-speed chains that are commonly sold is not long enough. You need about 120 links, I believe. So starting with a 124 or 126 gives you enough length on that. This is an AliExpress set of drop bars. I wasn't sure how this bike would perform with drop bars, given that it came with the other style, and I did like the other style. Felt great. It's not quite as compact as this one, and I was concerned that I wouldn't get that pull that you need to do on the pedal strokes when ascending a hill, but actually this works great. The only complaint I would tell you that you may be watching out for with these drop bars is they are thin, and the handlebars that come with the bike, they give you that nice grip, and it's better. These are a little thin in the hand. What's next? I didn't change the seat. I just lost a major contract, so I was making so much ridiculous amounts of money. I was just buying everything in the world for kiteboarding and this bike, and that's over. So I'm probably not doing a carbon seat. This bike is done. My spending on this bike is done, and really anything else except for groceries for a while. So not doing the seat. And that's pretty much it, except for the biggest piece, the biggest component upgrade, which is the group set, the brifters, this and the derailleur. So this is the L2 EGR group set. It's E-shifting and hydraulic brakes, and the battery. I'll show you the battery cable from the derailleur. The battery fits really well right up in the fork, or whatever that's called, the neck. What is this? Not bad, but don't love it. All right, so E-shifting over cable shifting. I'll never go back. I hated cable shifting as a kid. Back in about 1989, I was like, what is this? When you adjust one gear positioning so that it's optimal, that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the gears are going to be as perfectly well adjusted and dialed in. I sensed that, I perceived that as like a 7-year-old, well, as a 10-year-old, maybe 11. And when E-shifting came along, I haven't been into biking for a very long time, but as I got back into it recently and I became aware that E-shifting exists, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Per gear adjustments, yes, please. So, and yeah, you get on the app and you dial in every gear and it shifts wonderfully. With the stock shifting on this bike specifically, I think I actually did not have it professionally. Well, it was built by a bike shop and I picked it up when the thing had 100 miles on it or something very low. So it was professionally assembled and adjusted, and the shifting was cable shifting, if you know what I'm saying. You'd at some gears there was like a gear range or one gear in particular where I would shift into it and it just wouldn't shift, so I'd have to feather the thumb shifter to get it to go in. And I was just I want E-shifting. I want totally responsive, what's the word, not conclusive, but just effective shifting with each tap of these buttons. And this totally achieves that. There isn't any messing around with shifting. You tap the button, it shifts every time cleanly without any screwing around, such as delays or anything like that. The hydraulic brakes are totally excellent. I had a fair bit of trouble getting them working myself, and it found out that ultimately it was a brake bedding in issue. I tried bedding them in myself, couldn't do it. I had to take it to the shop. This is one of the things I had to take to the shop to get done professionally. They have a smart bedding machine, and the brakes are now awesome. They were garbage, and now they're awesome. What else? Getting a square tape. I already did a video on this and a forum post on it, but yeah, this has a new, what's it called, bottom bracket. This project has gone on for 6 months. I'm forgetting some of the names and some of the stuff I even did. This bottom bracket is ceramic. It was like $20. It's awesome. Don't even try getting a square taper bottom bracket out yourself. Just forget it. Whoever came up with that, my God, please retire that, bike industry. I had to take to the shop. I ended up stripping out both sides when trying to get that square taper bottom bracket out. I had to take it to the shop for that. I did take it to the shop for the tubeless tire setup. That's not something I'm trying to do. And that's and as far as what the bike is like, lastly, so the last point is, like, what is the bike like? I think I love it, but I loved the bike before all of these upgrades. All these upgrades, especially carbon wheels, are supposed to completely just be dramatically impactful to the enjoyability, the snappiness of the ride, the responsiveness. I'll tell you what, it's been so long, it's been 6 months or something since I got to ride this bike stock. I loved it back then. I don't have like a reference anymore. I don't remember what it was like. It was great. Now it's great. I love it. It's probably a hell of a lot better. It's probably amazing compared to what it was before, but only if you have certain refined senses. It was great before, and I love it now. I've got more climbing ability. The wheels are dramatically lighter. The shifting is just fabulous, and the brakes just the feel to hydraulic brakes instead of scraping a cable through a hose. It's nice. It's nice. So I do recommend the upgrades. I just don't know if I would do it myself, and a local shop is probably going to be like, yeah, Shimano DI and Ultegra, and that's what we do here. Take your AliExpress stuff and do it yourself. But that's not what I'm interested in. I actually have had wonderful experiences with AliExpress. I have a very long history of using their products for aquariums and stuff like that, so I'm very favorable about that channel. So yeah, hope this is helpful.